Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Katie and today we are going to be assembling the gnomes using the Gnomes for Winter and the Gnomes for Autumn thin cuts from Close to My Heart. So this is what the Gnomes for Winter looks like. This is brand new, just came out. It is currently out of stock, but it is going to come back in. And then the Gnomes for Autumn looks like this. So this was released earlier this year. So I'm going to be using the braids from the Gnomes for Autumn collection because that one was originally a girl and she came with these cute little braids. And I'm also going to be using the brim of the hat. So this was the original hat from the Gnomes for Autumn, and I'm actually going to be using it as a guide for her chin because if you look at the original boy, the beard and the mustache kind of covers up where the face would be, and she's going to need a face because she doesn't have the beard. So what I did was kind of outline where her face would be, just kind of eyeballed it and went with that. So this is my original girl gnome that I showed when I walked through the whole collection. To me, she kind of looks like she's wearing pajamas more than she's going to go out ice skating. So what I actually did was kind of cut off the blades of her ice skates right there. So she went from looking like she was going to go ice skating to looking like she's going to a pajama party. So I thought that was really cute, and another fun trick too that you can do with this thin cut is if you don't want it to be ice skating, they can just be wearing shoes very easily. So same thing with the boy gnome, you cut out all the same base piece. So this is the main base piece. You cut out the nose and you cut out the shoes. For the shoes in the original one, I did use the silver foil paper. And if you don't have that on hand, I do have a trick for you to use the Versamark ink right here. So you can use the Versamark ink with the silver embossing powder. And you just take the ink and you wipe it on the paper, you put the embossing powder on, you heat set it, and then you cut it out from there. So it's just a really easy tip to kind of give it the shiny look of foil paper without actually having foil paper. So the first step is to kind of draw or trace a face line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this mint color as my base, and I took the hat and I just kind of lined it up where I thought her face would naturally lie, and it did a very fine pencil marking, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut that out. And this will give us the opening for her face. And then for the top of the face, there is this really fun stitching right at the top. And I just went along that as well. So you can either cut the line exactly, or you can cut just below if you want to keep that fun stitching effect. So when you put it on the gnome, you can see that there is now an opening for the face. I'm going to go ahead and use this pattern paper for the bottom though. And I think I'll use the little pink ball this time. I cut out some glitter that will go on top. Here is the hair. Again, this is from the Autumn collection. And to add a little bit of dimension, I'm just going to use a little dauber that I have on hand and just kind of add some dimension to her braids. I did see some other people creating the girl version of the gnomes by adding little bows to the bottom of the hair. I thought that was really cute as well. Some people will cut out the hair and then do some amazing artwork with markers or colored pencils, and it really looks like texturized hair. But just to keep this really simple, I'm just going to add a little bit of color and dimension with just edging it. So the trick with this is you want to make sure that the hair kind of looks like it is naturally under there. So what we're actually going to do is glue most of the hat on first. And with this, you can either use liquid glue, you can use a tape runner, whatever glue you really like to use. We're not going to glue the top part down because we want to make sure we can tuck the hair underneath. And you need to make sure the hair is tucked underneath, otherwise it looks kind of wonky, like it's not natural. So the hair will go tucked underneath it, and you gotta kind of angle it just a little bit. So again, it looks like it's naturally flowing underneath her hair. So I will just add a little bit of glue and a little bit of glue to get that hat fully down. We'll get the shirt part out of the way, but I'm really just kind of looking for an angle that kind of looks more natural. Same thing on this side, just adding a little bit and just kind of tucking that under. And then for the shirt, easy, you just kind of glue that down too. Tuck that under. And that way you have an opening for her face, and then her hair looks more naturally like the braids are going down underneath her hat. We'll just glue the little ball to the end. Glue her little nose right on top. And then for her little skates, I think I'm going to use the silver ones that I created. So with these two skates, there is one that's kind of curved more than the other. So you can tell which one goes right or left. And if you don't, they're pretty easy to pick up and put them on the correct one. But if you do go with the curve, the one that's got more of a curve is for the left side, and this one's more for the right side. And with her hair, you could easily, I'm gonna move it, attempt to move it just a little bit. With her hair, if you don't like the look of it kind of being almost three-dimensional, kind of sticking out, you could easily glue all of it down. And with this one, I think I'm going to do the same thing. Just because the way the outfit looks, it looks more like pajamas to me. I'm going to go ahead and cut off the skates. And that was super easy to do. You just kind of cut right on the edge, and you follow the curve of the bottom of the shoe, or in this case, the skate that got turned into a shoe or a slipper. And there she has her cute little slippers, and they both kind of look like they are going to go on a little pajama party. And you can see that their face are definitely different. This one's a little more wider. So with this thin cut, you can go higher or lower. It all depends on how big you want the face to be. You could make it very narrow. You could make it even larger. It all just really depends on how you want your gnome to look. But I think they're really fun when they all look a little different, but very similar. So these two look like they're going to go have a fun little pajama party. And then these two guys look like they're going to go out skating. So that is just a quick tutorial on how I created my gnomes. I know I've seen other people add some really fun effects to it. I've seen people chop off both the arms and then fold the arms in so it looks like they're holding something. They could be holding a present, they could be holding a pie, they could be holding a cake, they could be holding just about anything. And that would just be really easy to assemble as well. So here is a plain white one. So what you would do is follow the curve of the gnome on both ends. Just kind of following that natural curve that came on the thin cut. And then making sure you are lining up the correct arms. You just kind of line it up to where it would be, and then you could have them holding a present. So it's kind of hard to see on the white on white, but you could easily have them holding something just by cutting off the arms and gluing it back on. And you could make it a little wider. Obviously, wherever you glue it down, you just cut off the extra pieces. But there's a lot of possibilities with these cute little gnomes. Again, if you don't want them skating, just cut off the skates. And if you want them skating, you know, it's just so much fun. You could add glitter to them as well. You could have 2 different colors. I've seen people do it where it's black and then they cut that just a little blade out with silver, and you could use silver foil, or you could use the embossing folder or embossing powder, or you could color it in with a marker. The possibilities really are endless. See, like these, I had these cut off and I could just save them and put them, glue them right on top of it. So I could have the blade look like it's silver on top of the blue little skate. So that would be really cute too. So definitely possibilities are endless. These are really fun gnomes. You could probably even just fold these and they would probably stay put too. If you look at just doing this to this, the way they naturally fold doesn't exactly line up. So I think that's why most people just kind of cut it and then re-glue them back on. But I mean, if you're looking for a really whimsical look, that could be an option too. So thank you so much for joining me as always. I hope you enjoyed the little tutorial today. I hope you are loving the Gnomes 4 collection from Close to My Heart. So far we have the autumn and the winter collection, and I'm really excited to dive deeper into the winter collection and create some more things. Thank you again so much for watching. See you all next time, and happy crafting.